Folks, if you are interested in real estate investing or housing, you have probably seen social media tweets, posts, comments about the 40-year mortgage. I think a lot of people are misunderstood what's going on, but let's talk about the 40-year mortgage. Is it good? Is it bad? What's really happening? And to have this conversation, we have the one and only Casey from Brick by Brick Wealth. How you doing, Casey?
I am doing so good. It's a beautiful day, and I'm so happy to be here with you.
Oh, that is so awesome. The audience loves you. Thank you for being here. I'm sure you've seen it. I don't know, the last 3 or 4 days. 40-year mortgage, 40-year mortgage, 40-year mortgage seems to be everywhere. What are your thoughts? What are you hearing?
So I'll tell you the truth, I haven't paid super much attention to it lately, but it has just hearing about it is has opened my eyes. It's like I feel kind of like, everyone's just trying to push us down this hole of more and more debt, just keeping us under the thumb and making it hard to ever climb out, hard to be free. And I really feel like there is a lot of negative stigma about a 40-year loan, like, oh, it's terrible. You're gonna spend so much more money in interest. And it's like, I totally agree. Yes, it sucks. Who wants to pay more interest? But it's like, okay, and I'm not sure one way or the other, but I'm thinking of it from just trying to be just, using my own brain and just, okay, let's think about this. 30-year mortgages are bad too, right? Wouldn't a 20-year be better? Wouldn't a 10-year be better? Wouldn't a 5-year be better? I mean, yes, obviously the more interest, the worse it's going to be. Like, you have to pay more. But on the other hand, I'm thinking, well, how many people actually live out their 30-year mortgage?
Hmm.
How many people
Yeah.
actually pay that off? Like, that's got to be close to like slim to none. I would think most people don't pay their mortgage off completely.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I think history says that the average mortgage exists 8 years. So that clearly says that most people aren't paying it off. Yeah. So you're right.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so a 30-year mortgage, you're going to be paying it forever. A 40-year mortgage, you're going to be paying it forever. So what are you really losing? You're losing principal, more principal buy down and pay
Mhm.
down, is what you're kind of trading. And so you pay more interest and less, paying off less principal. But on the other hand, it's like, no, I'm not saying I'm for 40 years. Okay. I'm just trying to think here, like, okay, is there
Yeah.
something good about this? And I guess the only thing that I could say that would be good about it is that with all the increased amounts of things that we all have to pay for in our daily lives, right? We got cell phones now. They didn't have those a long time ago. We got internet. We've got da 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 da. Like inflation, everything costs more. Oh my god, my cleaning
Yeah.
lady wanted $180 and 220. I'm like, screw it, I'll just do it myself. It starts getting ridiculous when like easy labor is 30 bucks an hour. So things are costing more. And it's like, well, something's got to give. Maybe a 40-year mortgage isn't that bad. I mean, I don't know. I'm not for it. I mean, I have a house with a 20-year loan too. I do not like debt at all. I'm a super safe person. I'm like, pay it off, pay it off, pay it off.
Mhm.
But for the majority of people out there, if it means a lower payment, I mean, most millennials are renting as it is. So
Yeah.
what's kind of the difference?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things I want to talk about here because, again, there's a lot of press that FHA or all of these folks at the 40-year mortgage is here. So let's clear that up. If you actually take the time to read past the headlines, the 40-year mortgage is now an approved way for folks out of forbearance or out of trouble. So basically, how they're using the 40-year mortgage today is, hey, this homeowner's in trouble. We want to lower the payment. Let's extend the term. This is something they did during the forbearance period of 2020 and 2021 and all of that. So it is not a net new product. First off, it's not new. It's existed for a while, but
Yeah.
you're not going to see FHA quoting brand new 40-year mortgages. There are people saying that's happening. That's not happening, at least today. Could this be the entree to future offering 40-year mortgages? Absolutely, but it's not happening today. So for me, a 40-year mortgage used as a tool to keep somebody in their home is amazing, right? If their debt to income ratio doesn't work at 30 years, but it works at 40, by all means, give them a shot. It's better than a foreclosure, right? It just is. I'm not a big fan of 40-year mortgages. I have non-QM lenders that I talk to that give them today. So if you want one, you can get one. But I'm on record, dude. I'm like, what? Why? Especially like today, I just talked to a non-QM lender on Thursday, so 4 days ago. The rate on a 40-year is higher than a 30-year. So again, if the rate is higher, the payment's almost the same. Why the heck would you take on an additional 10 years? I mean, it's just, there's nothing magical about 40 years over 30 years. So again, I do think you're right. I think we live in a consumer-based economy that is very much credit and debt driven. And one of my biggest fears, I said last year, is the 40-year will become standard and the 30-year will become the 15, because I don't know if a lot of people realize this. The 15-year mortgage for a long time was the most popular product. It's now
And
not
it
even
gave you a good
close.
return too. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a good deal to get a 15-year. Like it made
Yeah.
sense at the time.
Yeah.
Back then.
So again, now it's 30. So my biggest fear is very soon the 40 will become the standard. The 30 will become the 15, and we'll just take on more debt. So I'm not a huge fan. But if you're going to use the 40 years as it is today as a tool to prevent home loss, by all means. Yeah,
It's better than
do what you
nothing.
have to. Better than nothing.
Better
Right?
than losing your home, better than not owning it. You know, could be considered better than renting. It really depends on the type of house and the expenses. But yeah, I mean, everything's getting extended. Car loans too. I mean, you know, it used to be like 5-year car loan was like a long time. Now you got 7-year car loans. Well, because cars
Yeah.
cost more than a house, and like they always kind of have. But I was looking up a brand new Yukon, and it was $120,000. I'm like,
Wow. 120 grand for a brand new Yukon. Nope. Looks like we lost Casey. We will see if we can get her back. Folks, 40-year mortgage is not what it's all cracked up to be. Be careful out there. Thank you.